Morning people, it is Sunday the 12th of September. We're about to get down to a 15k with KO. You can tell she's excited. But today I'm going to be talking about my property journey so far at the age of 24. It's been a crazy journey, put it that way. It's been an interesting one, lots of lessons learned, lots of people met, lots of countries travelled to. But you know, we don't complain. We enjoy the grind, we love it, ready to go, ready to make it happen. We're heading to Hentworth later today. First we've got this run, big one, in preparation for the half marathon. So yeah, it's Sunday, just turned 6:47, and we're gonna make it happen. Prefer run it this time because it's less quiet, well more quiet, sorry. Less cars on the road, and just a bit more quieter. So, tip of the day, get it done. Let's go. What is up? We are about to head over to Hentworth. A good friend of mine has kindly let us stay in a beautiful property, which you're going to see in about an hour and a half time. We have had the run done this morning. We are fully prepared, ready to go, working abroad. Working out of office. Going to be there from Sunday to Thursday. It's a big week ahead. Lots of content recording, lots of walks, lots of exciting things to go on. So I'll see you there. If you are traveling in work and you're looking to travel wherever you want, run a business, then make sure you stay in routine, because you know, see so many people that don't stick in routine, let the actual growth and the vision slip by the wayside. But as long as you're sticking to routine, you know, that's why I've already organised where we're going to be training, where the good places to walk are. We've got our food prep that we've got from Zany's, which is based in Stockport. Make sure you're on it. Don't let your routine slip, and let's make it happen. Let's go.
People, you know, and if I just say this, I mean, that was probably the biggest one there, and anyone.
What's up, people? We are in Hentworth. We are at our little staycation, our little Airbnb, which a good friend Angus has kindly let us stay in. It's absolutely beautiful. You know, I've always sort of wanted to be able to do this, work for wherever you want, that laptop lifestyle, and you know, here we are doing it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful today. We're in Hentworth, which is South Yorkshire. So if you are thinking about a place to stay, if you are thinking about somewhere which is quiet, beautiful, I mean, you've got actually a beautiful pub just there called the Butcher's Arms. We've actually been training at a gym called Aura's Gyms, which is incredible, and I'll be able to show you some footage of that. But you know, wherever you are, whether it's abroad, in the UK, you're looking to make it happen and still grow, you know, make the lifestyle that you want to make. You know, for the next few years, I'm looking to travel, be able to still buy property, grow the education space, and make it happen. You know, you can still have the best of both worlds. Don't wait until you're mid-30s, 40s, until to live your life. Do it now. Time is precious, so let's go. Talk is cheap, money buys houses, and let's go. I'm going to show you around the property. We're all ready to go. Let's go. Pad for the next few days. Katie sorting out the meal prep. Unreal. Two double bedrooms. Features. Absolutely love it. Go to your office upstairs. What is up, people? Hope we're doing well. It is the 14th of September. Hope we have been crushing it.
hoping achieving what we set out to achieve. The reason why I wanted to do this video was just really talk about my property journey so far. You know, property is a fascinating sector, a sector which, you know, we can all agree will give us many ups and downs along the journey. But overall, we get into property for many reasons, whether it's passive income, to be able to do what we want, to make money, to be able to give back to people. You know, there's a list of reasons, and the reason why you do property is, you know, very specific to what you're trying to achieve in life. You know, and that again can change over life. One thing that I've realised in property is, you know, how much I value time. You know, and I think, you know, spending time with family, spending time with friends, you know, that's a big thing in terms of, you know, why I do property, being able to sort of do what I want essentially. You know, that's a big thing, you know, and it has got me thinking over the last, you know, however many months in terms of, you know, what's going on personally in life, and, you know, and, you know, but I think, you know, I speak to a lot of people that I help, you know, on a coaching basis, and it's really coming down to the reason why we do property, you know. But where it all started really, you know, I started, I guess, in property from, like a lot of people do, you know, they start within a company, they progress, they realise, you know, they could do more, add more value, or make more money elsewhere. You know, I started working for, you know, a really strong company actually called Springbok, and, you know, it was sort of a fast-paced sort of sales environment. My role was a PSC, property sales consultant, so it was bringing on properties. You know, their sort of whole pitch was being able to sort of guarantee they could sell property within 30 days. You know, and you know, they did that quite a lot of time, and, you know, it was great. You know, there was opportunities to speak to investors as well as, you know, people that were looking to sell the house, you know, and understand typically how a deal or a good deal would look like, you know, and how the sort of structure went, and, you know, looking at sort of a B&B deal. I remember when I was working at Springbok, I'll never forget, when I was going on LinkedIn, I started doing networking. You know, I started to sort of branch out and, you know, understand whether there was opportunities to connect through people on LinkedIn, opportunities to bring into the company. And I remember putting on LinkedIn, spell check, you know, I will say spell check, I put on looking for, you know, in hindsight, you know, this post would have never worked anyway, but I remember looking for what I thought was B&B properties in these kind of areas. It actually came out as BMW properties, and, you know, at the time I posted that at night, and, you know, obviously I didn't really, you know, wasn't really on social media, so I didn't really sort of check the engagement, didn't check the comments or anything like that. And then I came in the next morning, and again, I wasn't really sort of big on LinkedIn as I am now, and, you know, and it wasn't Instagram where you sort of checking all the time. And I came in, and everyone was like, "Oh, how's the BMW properties going?" I was like, "Oh, you know, what do you mean?" And then, you know, sort of had to play it down and what happened, etc. But, you know, that was a funny time, and it made me sort of realise, you know, just some of the things that you get thrown at in your journey, and, you know, not even being able to sort of portray or put across on social media what I was actually looking for. So, you know, I'm sure there was a few laughs on that, and, you know, looking back on it, I certainly laughed myself, but an interesting one. But, you know, Springbok was a great opportunity. I learned a lot from Springbok. You know, learned a lot from working within a fast-paced environment. You know, but very quickly, you know, as I mentioned before, I realised that I was making and doing more than probably what I was getting paid for. And I think that's a common thing which, you know, anyone that goes into their own business or anything, they learn what they can learn, they learn as much as they can, they work with some great people, and then they sort of, you know, if they do just decide to venture out, and they go for it, and, you know, and that's what they do. So that's what I decided to do. But, you know, my route was more, you know, I guess went into more lead generation for working with property agents and more the marketing side. I've always thought, I know I'll say this to a lot of people, because property is a wide, you know, when you say property industry, working in the property industry, it's a very generic term. You know, you've got, you know, marketing and property, you've got sales, you've got conveyancing, legal, you've got finance, you've got building, whatever it may be. There's so many different ways, and I think for me it was a case of, you know, I'm in property for life. You know, I'm as I mentioned, I'm property so far at 24, turn 25 next month, so I've still going to be in property for the next 40, 50 years, you know, and I was conscious, and I wanted to make sure that I could have the ability to understand and learn across all sectors. So I went into marketing because I thought, you know, I realised, I sort of quickly realised how important social media marketing was, lead generation, getting the clients in the door, quickly realised how important that was. And that was again a great opportunity, and worked with a lot of clients, not just in property, but, you know, I targeted specific property businesses and understood the sort of that function. And then obviously went into selling new build apartments. You know, so new build apartments again was a fascinating journey, selling from all the way from sort of Manchester, Birmingham, and London, Travelled the world doing that. Went to Hong Kong, China, Dubai, Qatar, Singapore, all around the world really, which again, at sort of 19, 20, 21 was an amazing experience. And I think definitely sort of what I always say to people is get yourself outside of the country, get yourself on a plane, invest in yourself. You pay for courses, you pay for books, you pay for all these seminars, but would you pay yourself or invest in yourself, to go abroad, spend a couple of days meeting with different investors and meeting with different types of people? That's a question which I ask a lot of people, and it doesn't mean it's the right thing to do for everyone. I definitely recommend it if you are looking to venture out and meet with people. Not that you have to do it at all, I'm not saying that. But you definitely get a lot of benefits. You definitely get a lot of benefits from doing business and being able to understand different cultures. You learn a lot of lessons from that. You start to work with the overseas market. You start to understand the sort of how much money people have got around the world, and again, something that I've always tried to pride myself on is being able to connect with investors and bring opportunities and capital opportunities to people around the world, not just in the UK. And people, they want to be able to sort of shake your hand. They expect you to go over to their country to meet them, and that's certainly something which I learned, and given a business card in Hong Kong like that, the small things make a big difference, and I think at a younger age, and I feel like I've been in property for so long now, but I'm constantly reminded and told by people, that you're still starting out, and not starting out, but you're still so young, you've still got so much time, and it's that definitely has helped me. And looking forward to once things are getting back to normal, looking forward to getting back over to Hong Kong next year. We're trying to get over there with Katie for a couple of weeks and just live the routine over there. And so again, lessons learned, in terms of being able to travel overseas, understand different cultures, network with right people, sit around a boardroom and present your ideas at a young age or any age, to a company that's never heard of you, doesn't necessarily have to meet with you, and get them on board and trying to sort of bring into the vision that you're trying to achieve. And that's what I think, a key lesson that I've learned in property, and say to a lot of people that help and whatever it may be, is that, property is a business which, you have to bring every people on the same page. Regardless, if you don't do that, you're completely wasting your time. So, that's been something, quite a big thing for me. Started doing developments, started obviously building stuff in the centre of Manchester, did my first development, 10 apartments, which basically completed in 2019. And then I've been doing sort of commercial, residential, and now I've moved into the social sort of care sector, which I'm quite passionate about, as well as, attracted to for the financial and sort of commercial angle. So, there's a lot that I've been able to cover, there's a lot been lessons that I've been able to learn. The future in itself, where it looks like for me is, I'm really keen to, essentially have a fund, and be able to buy income producing assets within the market across social, healthcare, anything with a long lease I'm quite passionate about. So that's going to be sort of launched in the next few months. For now, the education space is massive for me, helping a lot of people and sort of getting rid of all this sort of bullshit that's in the industry, and just scaling the current portfolio. Been buying a lot of properties in Burnley, for example, and buying properties with a business partner there called Gary Kay, who has done exceptionally well, and we've done great things together, and just bought the office block, just done all these exciting things. But there is a lot, and I've covered a lot. It's been talking for a number of minutes now, but there's a lot that goes into property. I've been in management, had a management app that didn't sort of work, and I've done sales, I've done everything around it. You've got to go through a lot of things to realise what works and what doesn't. And that's okay if it doesn't. You don't sort of tick the boxes on day one, or you don't feel comfortable doing something. I don't really like doing sales. I actually, I'm saying to Katie, I don't enjoy it. Don't enjoy. There's that sort of the deal. I like doing deals, but I like being, the buyer of the deal, or the more control of the deal. I feel like sometimes being the middleman, even though it brings a lot of benefits, and they always say, there's the art of a successful, whatever it may be, is to be the middleman. And I do agree with that. But it doesn't necessarily work with my temperament or who I am and how it is. And I can certainly negotiate and get deals done, but I'd rather be negotiating for deals that I'm going to own myself rather than leave it in the middle. So, find what works for you. Don't waste time on it. Accept that you're gonna have to go through things to come out the other side of it, and reflect on the lessons that you learned. Like I've just reflected for the last 8-9 minutes. There was a lot that I've covered. Traveled the world, met some incredible people, met some idiots along the way. There's no denying that as well. And as you scale in property, you're gonna meet a lot of people that are gonna waste your time. I have my fair share of stuff, and people that have screwed you over, and that's okay. Because I think sometimes being young in the industry, people can sort of think they can take advantage, which is a thing that I'm sure a lot of people have sort of experienced. But age is just a number, and for me it's always around surrounding yourself with the best people, hence why I do the podcast, hence why I try to be the best in the game, because there's lessons that you can learn from everyone, and just someone that they were doing something not so great that you can pull the idea from, connect the dots for you and make it happen. But I'm excited. The property journey, the property space is growing. I'm passionate about social, I'm passionate about sort of, specialised supported housing, I'm passionate about, becoming a large landlord and exiting in a few years' time. That's my passion. I put this out there and for the accountability in the future to look back on this video to say, have we done it? And that's what we're going to go for in the next year, so 2022, and getting that sort of going in the first quarter will be exciting, and just excited to share this journey with you guys, because we'll be looking back on these videos, we'll be looking back on where the future will take us. And I'm sat here in a Airbnb, I'm not sure if you can see it, in Hepworth. And already I feel like I'm very grateful for many things. A lot of shit that's happened over the last couple of years, from losing my dad to losing something, all these types of things. But it's time to make it happen. For the Wentor, Ian Wilby, big shout out if you're listening. Always said to me, Jake, said to me, talk is cheap, money buys houses, and we're here to make it happen. We're here to sort of avoid the BS. We need to make it happen. Expect failures. Learn from that. Don't avoid it. But also don't get too comfortable with it. I think failure is an interesting thing. I listened to a podcast the other day, and everyone wants to do failure to, be part of that journey, and that's fine, but you have to learn from that. So let's make it happen. Let's take action. Let's take the right steps and strategies that allow us to get to where we need to be. As Gary Vee always says, reverse engineer it. Don't waste any time. Time is the most precious asset, and let's make it happen. Happy Tuesday. Let's go. Peace.